Hello everyone! About 2 weeks ago, Lincoln J and I traveled to Churubusco, New York to investigate the rise in illegal border crossings into both Canada and the United States. We first discovered this location months ago through numerous TikTok videos promoting it as a safe illegal crossing point. We spoke with local residents who confirmed that this area has become a hotspot for such activity after the Roxham Road loophole was closed. More recently, we received a call from Jerry, who warned us about a significant increase in the number of people now crossing primarily into Canada. If you haven't watched our full investigation yet, I invite you to do so at guardtheborder.com. During our time on the ground, we conducted an in-depth interview with Hunter Robar, who lives on the very road where people are being dropped off and picked up. He shared a wealth of information with us. We couldn't include the full interview in our original report, but today we are giving you access to it. Let's take a listen. Hunter, can you tell us, what did you see recently? Did you see an increase of illegal crossing? And can you tell us also which side they are going into?
So, just being on this road, mostly, I've seen them coming from Canada into the U.S., but I have noticed just recently them going back. But still to this day, it's, groups coming across, but I mean, it's every day. I mean, we have cameras, up and down the road here. I have hunting cameras in the woods that I hunt. And, it's every day. It's either one or the other. You catch them on. Mm-hmm. And it's pretty, common, groups of 4 and plus. But, there's children involved and all that. So it's a little nerve-wracking, like you had spoke with us. We had the woman and a child here. We've had them ring the doorbell. Every time you're in the woods, you tend to find clothes or, remnants of them coming across fairly recently. Mm-hmm. And, I've noticed, a small break in between the election, where they did take a pause, but it seems to just be getting back to the point where people are coming across every day. And, it's a little nerve-wracking because you don't know these people and, you're in a quiet area. But mm-hmm. Other than that, you guys know just as much as me. It's pretty steady, the same thing, day after day. It's groups, and if you ride around here, you can see them leaving things behind, and it can be pretty nerve-wracking, just mm-hmm. being at home and you have a group of people walking down the road and you don't know their intentions, not saying they're bad people, but when push comes to shove, everybody wants to survive, during a storm or such. You don't know if they're going to come in the garage. And
would you say that it's every day?
Yeah, it's definitely every day. Like between the camera right here and then the camera in the woods, one or the other goes off. It just depends on that day, where they cross, whether it be there or right there.
Mm-hmm. Recently, did you saw an increase?
Yeah, there's definitely an increase. Like I said, there was that pause, I think right around the election, where it seemed to slow down. But to me, it's grown and it keeps growing. Mm-hmm. It's no longer, one here, one there. It's every day. You see them.
What can you tell us about the nationality of those people?
So what I've noticed, it's pretty much 100%. It's Haitian, Haiti. Mm-hmm. It's all of them. You don't see any I haven't seen really any ethnicity, recently, I haven't seen, Spanish or anything like that. It's majority of it is Haitian.
Did you had any interaction with them?
Me personally, I try not to, just to, reduce the risk of them wanting a ride or wanting something, because it needs to be taken care of, and I don't want to be a part of it, but at the same time, you feel bad when people show up and they have small children, and you have to call the border patrol, and yes, you're doing the right thing to get them help, but at the same time, you don't want them just hanging around your house. But we call quite frequently to have them come and picked up, and it seems to be like we had said, when we had called about the mother and the child, it takes the Border Patrol so long to get here because, they're occupied down the road with another group, and it's just getting to the point where there's so many of them. The Border Patrol's workforce isn't large enough to, take care of the whole issue at, once.
Do you feel safe?
I would like to think I am, but like I said, you don't know what these people are coming from, what they have, what they're willing to do to, become, be safe, in their own eyes, It's one of those things where you don't know what they have to protect themselves. And as, a normal human being, you don't want to hurt somebody else, but it makes you nervous, to have, 14 people walk by your house with all backpacks in the middle of the woods. To me, you would want to have protection, and I would think they would have it. So it's a little nerve-wracking.
Usually this kind of story would be the headline everywhere. Why it's so silent about it?
See, I wonder the same thing, because you see the problem and it grows, and to a lot of us that live up here, it almost feels like it's swept under the rug. Like it's whatever, like, nobody really cares or something. I don't know why. We've had reporters up here in the past, and to this day, none of us have ever seen a story on it, and it's kind of sad because you got a lot of people coming across, and there's a lot of older, folk here, that might not wake up in an event of someone breaking in, and it kind of, like you guys have seen, the illegals are using social media just as much as you and I. They're using that social media to find their way across and, tell the others that, this is a safe place to come across and such. And to me, it's just being swept under the rug until, you guys came up and are putting in the work to figure out what the real problem is here.
What the Border Patrol are doing if they are heading north?
So what I've seen, it's almost like them leaving is, not their problem. But what I've noticed still is, like if they see them, they try to stop them. But I feel like it's almost less of a rush if they're heading the opposite direction than their jurisdiction. So it's kind of a catch-22. You get a good one where they want to do the right thing, and others like will chase them a little ways, and then if they're gone, they're gone.
If you appreciate our hard work on the ground and independent journalism, please consider chipping in at guardtheborder.com to help us to continue our investigation. Thanks in advance.